Hi family and friends of ERC, hola familias y niños de ERC, estamos muy feliz que está aquí. Thank you for being here for Kids Craft Wednesday. Just a side note for the video, please make sure you watch the whole video first before diving into the craft. A section of it you'll have to wait for something to dry, so that might take more than a few hours. So just make sure you watch the video first before you get started so you know how to plan your craft. Today we will be making a tassel decoration for today. So let's get started. So as seen on our announcement for Kids Craft Wednesday, the materials you'll need for today are some napkins or paper towels, a spray bottle of water. If you have a bigger one, that's fine. Coffee filters, some string, tape, markers. You'll need to have markers, preferably ones that are water-based or ones that are washable, and a piece of paper. I happen to have a large piece of paper, but you can use any paper you have. If you have cardstock, that will work the best. Mine is not cardstock, it's just large and normal type of paper. To get started, you will need only the markers and your coffee filters. Mine are brown. If you have white, that's fine. I grabbed a few. You'll probably need 5 or 6 depending on how you want to make this craft. I'm going to use my paper down below just so that the markers do not bleed through the coffee filters, and if it does, it goes on the paper and not on my desk. So the first thing we're going to do is decorate our coffee filters. The quickest and easiest way, I would say, would be to just color large blocks like this, and then switch colors. If it's not all colored, that's okay. It does not need to be perfect, and I'll show you why once we get our water out. Color each coffee filter something similar to this. Again, do not worry about coloring it completely. We kind of want it to be spread out so that the water can finish, but I do want to show you, see how it kind of bled through. So let's start by decorating all of our coffee filters. Once they're all colored, we'll move on to the next step. All right. Now I have all of my coffee filters colored. As you can see, I did change some colors. I tried some different techniques. They're all different, and that's how I like it. So let's move on to our next step. So I have a large piece of paper because I wanted to show you how it can be done. You're gonna take some napkins. Now, if you're doing this in a place where it should not get wet, and even if it gets wet a little bit, it might mess some things up, then please do this in a place where it will not be a problem if it gets wet. So if you have small pieces of paper, then you might have to do a few different rounds of this. It looks like I can fit, I might just try to do 4. They can overlap, but we want most of the water to be on the paper and not on my desk. And I'm sure your family would agree that it's better if it's, let's just try that. Okay, and I have napkins here just in case. My water bottle is a little mister. I use it to water my plants, but I figured it would be easier than spraying it everywhere. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna wet all of our coffee filters. So try not to get it too wet. That's why I have a mister. You'll see it just spritzes out a little bit of water. But if you're spraying with a spray bottle and you can adjust the spray, do it to a mist. And we're just gonna spray it all. And you can kind of see it. And now we let it dry. All right, so we have let our coffee filters dry. I left mine a whole day, but I wanted to show you what happened to the paper after we let it dry on the paper. So we just created our own watercolor piece, which you can use for cards. I'll show you how I'm gonna cut those up to make some thank you cards or thinking of you cards, but right now we're gonna focus on our coffee filters. So you'll need scissors for this part and tape, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna fold it in half once and fold it in half again, twice, and one more time. So we just folded it in half 3 times. Let me show you again. We were open and we're closing once, folding again, twice in half, and one last time, like that. So you should have a smaller triangle. And now we're gonna take our scissors and we're going to cut towards the point, okay? So they don't have to be perfect, but you do not wanna cut this edge here. You don't wanna cut pieces off. We're just cutting straight lines. What I'm gonna do is open my scissors wide and just cut a straight line that follows the edge and stop. I'm gonna do it here too. You're not gonna cut this off. If you cut it off, you're not gonna have a important part. So 1 cut, 2 cuts. Let's just make 3 or 4 cuts. Just being careful not to cut anything off. Okay. So now we have the little lines, and we're gonna open it up carefully, not to rip anything. And I'm gonna just choose one of these to open it up. Okay, and now we're going to pick it up by the middle and kind of hang everything down, and we're going to just bunch the middle up like this. That is so all of these are kind of flying around, and we have our first tassel. So we're gonna, once we have the one tassel folded like that, we're gonna take our tape, just a small piece, and we're just gonna wrap it around this edge right here, or this point, so that our folds stay together and our frills stay out. So I could have even used a smaller piece, but we'll tape it around until it's all closed. And now you can kind of just feather these up a little bit, okay? Now we're gonna make this with all of the coffee filters that you made, okay? once all of your tassels are made, you're gonna get your string, and it doesn't have to be too long unless you made more tassels, but this is how long my string is. And you're going to tape your strings, or sorry, tape the tassels on the string like this. I'm gonna take our tape. I'm just gonna kind of sandwich it. So I'm gonna tape it on top, leave some at the top, and fold it over so that the tape sticks to itself like that. Okay, let's try the next one. Kind of a small piece of tape. We're gonna tape Right, once you're done, your tassel string should look something like this. Let me show you where I'm gonna put it so that it decorates my house. Thanks for joining us for Kids Craft Wednesday. I hope you come back next week for our next activity. If you post a picture of you doing the craft or the final product of your craft, you'll receive a raffle ticket. And winners are always pulled at Kids Club Live on Tuesday, so make sure you're joining in then. Also make sure to like and subscribe this video on our YouTube page, follow us on Facebook and on Instagram so that you don't miss any other opportunities to earn raffle prizes, raffle tickets, and see how you can continue to be the church at home. Hope you have a great day. We miss you guys. We'll see you next week. Bye.